Hello friends, welcome to JavaFx GUI tutorial. Now you are watching part 2 of the subseries button control. Here we will see how to handle button click event in JavaFX. So you can see two buttons. So this is one button and this is the next button, and there is a label. So once you click this button, we want to show button clicked here. That means we want to change the label. Then once you click a clear label, the label content will be erased. So that means here we need to handle the button click event for both these buttons. So JavaFX provides event handler. This event handler expects an event or a generic T. This is a type that extends an event. So this can be, okay, we will see about that. So the event handler class, which handles the event specified by the generic type T. So ultimately this event handler class will handle the event, and which event it will handle is defined by this generic type T. So it can be any type, say for example mouse event, action event, and the event will extends from the event class, which is defined by the JavaFX. For example, T can be action event or it can be item event. So when we progress with the JavaFX GUI tutorial, that time we will see many events, and this will become handy when you progress through the GUI tutorial. The interface expects to provide the handler. So the handler will take T, that means handler method we can say. So interface is event handler. So this interface expects to provide a handler method. So in this example, we will see how to use anonymous inner class as well as Lambda expression to provide the handler on the fly. A handler means the event handler, which handles the event of type T. The event T we already saw, and it can be action event or item event. There are a variety of event that extends from event. Alright, so for example, in our button class itself, JavaFX button, we will make a call to set an action. Then it expects a event handler. So what we will do, we will use either anonymous inner class or a Lambda expression on the fly, and we will provide the event handler type in the set an action method call itself. The old way of event handling, if you want to know, you can go to our AWT playlist. That means you can create a class that extends from or that implements the event handler and handles the separate event. In Swing playlist, we used anonymous inner class. Going forward with our JavaFX UI examples, we will use both Lambda expression and anonymous inner class. So you will get some hands-on on using both the way of handling the UI events. So here we need to handle event for set label as well as clear label. Our example requires 3 nodes. One is label and another 2 is of same type button. So totally there are 3 nodes, and if you see here we are creating a label, then we are adding it to our flow pan control. Next we create 2 button 1 and button 2. Label we are passing. After that we are adding those buttons to the flow pan control. Now our flow pan control contains 3 nodes. So here if you see, we are using the method set an action, and this method expects a class that implements the interface event handler. And here if you see, we are using the new keyword. That means we are defining the event handler in the function call itself. So this is an example for anonymous inner class type, and we are doing that for our first button. New event handler, and type here we are resolving it as action event. So we are creating the new instance inside the method itself. This is what we are calling it as. On the fly we are creating the class. That means here we are not creating a class like a class my event handler, and which implements event handler. So this is one way. This is the old way. In AWT we extensively used this method. Then we will create object of my event obj or handler, my event of type handler. Then we can pass that here to the onset action. But instead you can create an anonymous inner class, and here we are opening the bracket and closing it, and this one is for this bracket, and here we are defining the event handler class as an inner class. So we call this as an anonymous inner class, and if you see inside we will provide the handle method, and this handle method will provide or take action event. So that's what here we are resolving it, T as action event, and here we are taking the action event. So we are not using the action event EV here inside, but the handler method will expect this event, or it will receive the event when the button produces the click event. Alright, here what we are doing, we access our label 1 and we are setting the text button clicked. So once you click this button, the label will change to button clicked. So here you will be seeing the example for anonymous inner class of handling the event. So set an action expects a handler, event handler. So instead of defining a event class and providing the handle method, so here we are simply creating the event handler anonymous type, the generic type, and then we are providing the anonymous inner class, and in the inner class we are satisfying the interface by providing the definition for public void handle. This is actually T, and we provided the handler method. Now we will use the Lambda expression for the second button click, and if you see, this time btn2 same set an action, you can use the same anonymous inner class method to handle this one also. But here if you see, we are using the Lambda expression. We just provide the method parameter and this will resolve into the event handler. So action event EV, this is the notation for Lambda expression, and here we are providing the definition. And if you see, we are not even providing the handle, so we just say state action event, and since this interface contract requires you to handle only one method, we are directly providing the definition. So the method is handle, you can see it here, that takes action event. So this is the second technique of handling the event. So since you are seeing it for the first time, it may look little tough, the syntactical wise, and once you proceed with many examples, it will be easy for you, whether it is anonymous inner class or a Lambda expression. Alright, now we will go to the demo and implement this change. So far we created three examples. Now we will copy this and paste it inside the package. We will ask to do the refactor copy. Here I am changing the number to 4, then button event handling. So that's what the name I am giving here. Remove unused imports. So we will have flow pan for this example as well. So flow pan is set with the scene, we will have that, then showing the stage. So we will just remove the 3.1 from the previous example. So label is from JavaFx.scene.control.label, and button, remove all unused imports, and button is from JavaFX scene control button. So if you see here, we created a label, added it to the flow pan. We created two buttons and added it to the flow pan control. Now we will use the anonymous inner class way of handling the event. So what I'm doing, btn1 dot set on action. If you see, it takes event handler action event. So here itself the syntax is shown to us, event handler action event. So I'm just double clicking it. Since we are going to use anonymous inner class, I am typing the new keyword here, event handler. That's what it shown us, right? Event handler, and the generic type is action event. So the moment I type this double quote, here I am getting a helper text. So add import for action event JavaFx.event.action event. If you see, the moment I kept action event is exposed by two packages. One is from AWT and one is from JavaFX. So here I am taking action event from FX package. So this will resolve the action event. Then event handler, that's also from JavaFX event handler. So both the types are resolved by now, action event and event handler. Now if I click this bulb icon, it shows implement all abstract methods. Since here I used a new keyword, it's going with the anonymous type. Once I click here, the IDE provides the skeleton code, and what is missing is this bracket. So it's done, bracket is missing, we have to add that and put a semicolon. So here we got the skeleton code. We can remove this, and if you see, it provided the handle method, event handler. Event handler is the interface. If you see, event handler extends, this is the public interface, event handler. Event handler will ask you to implement a handle event, and if you see, the NetBeans IDE helped us to provide the anonymous skeleton. Using this bulb icon, we just provided the handle method. So inside we can set the label. By default, label is showing sample label 1, right? Now we will set that as label 1.setText button. Click it. Since the syntax is ready, now we can do the copy paste. If you see, just going to do this with a Lambda expression. Going to do this with a Lambda expression. So I'm copying this piece of code. This time it is btn2, and label 1 we are clearing it out. And just click on this bulb icon. At present it's in the anonymous inner class, turned into Lambda expression. That's what it is suggesting us. So if I click, it shows use a Lambda expression. Once you click it, you will be getting more simplified Lambda expression instead of this anonymous inner class. So both are the same technique, and here also you will be handling the event. So if you see, new event handler, action event, all these stuffs are eliminated, and public void handle. So all these syntax are eliminated. What we are having is action event E. So that's what we're directly giving the handler, because on set action knows it is expecting the event handler. So Lambda expression automatically resolves it. Since the interface expects to implement only one method, and we can directly specify that here. the argument action event E. With this notation, we can directly provide the body. That means here we provided the body and we specified label1.setText with the empty one. And if you see at any time, okay, let me keep it here. At any time, you can convert between anonymous inner class syntax to the Lambda expression syntax. Right? Let me put a Control Z so that it goes back to Lambda expression. All right. Now we will build this solution. Now we are building the project and we can test this. So by default it is showing sample label 1. Here if you see sample label 1, and here I'm clicking the set label and you can see button clicked. This will clear the label. Set label will show button clicked. So just now we learned how to handle the event. Since you learned how to use this quick help in NetBeans IDE, next video onwards I will be directly pasting the code. So when you hand type, you can use the tool to autofill the skeleton, or you can memorize. Once you open the bracket, you can specify your type, then provide the handler. That's all here in this video. Thank you for watching. Bye.